how do I unleash my full potential? How can I not have my full potential if it's my full potential? Better question is, how can I stop ignoring the potential that I have? You know, we talk about unleashing our full potential as if, it's something that we have to acquire. When you already have it, why aren't you using it? To understand why we're not using our full potential, we need to understand the way in which daily accumulation of stress causes us to not behave with our fullest potential. Our full potential is still there. It's just that neurons of our brain are being misappropriated to holding on to stressful situations that we've had, situations where we didn't possess in the moment the capacity, the stability, the adaptability to have an adaptive response to a demand. A demand is made on us when we have an overload of experiences based in inaccurate expectation. I didn't expect a thunderclap on a clear day, but the thunderclap came, and maybe it was 100 decibels of sound. Now, to what extent do I have the capacity to be stable and adaptive, and in fact to find the situation humorous? If my capacity in that given moment was not at 100%, then instead of finding that moment humorous, I might find that moment deeply stressful. And my brain is going to hold on to that moment of reactivity. I reacted. I didn't interact with the demand for change. I reacted to it. And this fight-flight reactivity, this is, I'm going to fight for my life and, get rid of the demand to change, or I'm going to run from it, hide from it. The fight-flight reactivity needs to be replaced by stay and play responsiveness. I'm responsive, interactive, I'm going to stay and play. I'm reactive, fighting, fleeing. This is a spontaneous result of having been stressed before. And the thing is that every time we get stressed, every time we accumulate a stress memory in the cells of our brain and body, our adaptation energy drops, and it becomes more easy to have a stress reaction to the next relatively minor demand on us. And our brain's neurons are misappropriated to holding on to all of these stress reactions of the past. We're living a life which is governed by the past. And when we live a life governed by the past, we're not in the present moment anymore. We're living a life in which more than 90% of our reactivity, 90% of our experience is governed by past things that we've experienced already. So then, though our full potential is there, it's being misappropriated to things that aren't helpful to us. So then we practice Vedic meditation twice a day. We close our eyes and sit easily, comfortably, and the mind settles down effortlessly into that least excited state of bliss. The body follows by resting deeply, and the body begins eliminating layer after layer of historic, chemical-based stress. The chemistry of fighting and fleeing, the chemistry of stress reactivity is gently replaced by the chemistry that says, stay and play. You're stable, you're adaptive. And in this way, billions of brain cells are liberated from the shackles and fetters of having to store the distorted memories of past overloads of experience. And we gain greater and greater creativity, our ability to innovate, to be inventive, to improvise, or raw creativity, to come up with something completely new, grows and grows and grows on a daily basis. Along with that, our ability to discern. to intellectually discriminate between one thing that looks like another thing, but in fact, on close inspection, they're mirror opposites or have many other differences. So frequently, we make a mistake by thinking that two things that appear to be the same actually are the same, when in fact, upon closer inspection, both sensorially and intellectually, we can discern that they're very different. Something that appears to be a solution to a situation compared with something else, and they both look like they're similar solutions to the situation, when one of them actually is going to be a complete mismatch for that situation. And we lean into the mismatch, and then we end up discovering that nothing worked and the whole thing turned into a disaster. That was a lack of capacity to discern and discriminate. A lack of capacity to perceive with clarity using our five senses. And all of this harkens back to the way our brain is clogged with all kinds of rubbish from the past, which is now irrelevant rubbish. So by eliminating the rubbish, by eliminating all of the distorted memories of past overloads of experience, through regular twice daily practice of Vedic meditation, we're going to awaken for conscious use all of those brain cells that have been abused, that have been misused in simply storage of stress. And so this vast computer of the human mind and human brain will then be, to use your words, unleashed into being an effective interactor with all the demands of time, with all the demands of change. And it's this life that's a life that's really worth living. It's this life that is a life that really rises to the level of it being worthy of the 100 billion neuron brain that we were born with, that was gifted to us by our mother.